unlimited driving service, and etc. And so I told Chicago Executive, I will give you 20% off the top for every referral that you give me as a first-time client. And so, we'll see what happens. So far, I have not been able to kind of nail anything down. And I do need to maintenance my nails, as well as my windshield wipers. So I also need new boots. I showed you guys the screws that they put in my boots. It's right now I'm wearing an open toe heel because it's warm outside. And so now is the time for your toes to be out. However, in just about a month or so, we will start to feel that cool, brisk autumn air moving in around us. And for that, I will need to have my boots replaced. I found my boots on Amazon for $40. I am so happy about it. So I basically, for anyone who doesn't know, I have two shoe preferences. One is an open toe, simple black strap, high heel. And the other one for the summer and the spring. And the other is a simple boot with a heel. And not one of those big chunky heels that's square with the round or the rubber, but rather one of those heels that's skinny. I do also like the heels that go like this, hourglass shaped, like my body. And so I need, to figure that out. That being said, I cannot even park in the city of Chicago anymore because the tickets that were already paid multiple times by multiple different sponsors, friends, myself, etc., and so forth, are still being used to toy with me. And if you recall, the beginning of all of this for me was when who came home. They began to target me in my home. And they came to my home and they began to basically put a bunch of, tickets on my car. And it was the Cadillac 100%. At that time. And I was unloading groceries. I was a single mother with all three of my children. Now I have four, but at the time I had three children in my vehicle. And it would be winter, or raining or what have you. And my youngest daughter was only 5 at the time. My older children were 11 and 12, or 10 and 11. And I would need to unload groceries, laundry, you name it. And I would leave my vehicle in the alley, pushed up against my garage door, not at the Patterson house, but at the house on Foster. And it went from there being no problem at all to all of a sudden, I would have multiple tickets every single time I did anything. The neighbor was awful, an awful busybody. And not only that, but, I don't know if she was awful or if she was just a busybody. Either way, then,
just park in normal places, dude.
My old babysitter, / administrative assistant / creative assistant, I found a planner in my house of hers after I threw away all of her garbage, that I found there. I found a planner, and on the planner, it said mass exodus. On the day when they were forcing me and targeting me to leave my house. I Google searched, what does that mean? Mass exodus. It basically means everyone's out of here. Now, here's my thing. What the hell does that mean with regards to my life? Right? And with regards to, the expectation for me and why I began to be targeted. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. This is Heather, by the way.
It's that you're listening to someone else.
But I do not know. And now it's just gotten to the point where I I need to have money for things. And I called a general contracting company today because I've always had the blueprint for the house that Dylan promised to buy me. Before I ever even met Xavier, before we got pregnant and had Weston, it was just my plans for Dylan and my 3 children. I had a house. My wedding was planned, and I had a house already like drawn up in my mind that we would live in. And he promised to buy it for me. Well, the house had 2 tree houses, but they weren't tree houses like little shacks. You know, they were nice tree houses. Like, we took our time building them with our own 2 hands as a family project. And we made them like really cool hangout spots, like one for the girls, one for the boys. And we had like
happen, right?
in my vision for all of this, we had like water guns and like water balloons, and we had like, you know, just like a chill, like a dining area, and like running water and a restroom. And we had these tree houses, one on each side of the front entrance to our house. And it was just this idea that I came up with. Well, about 3 months ago, I decided that I also wanted my family. Well, maybe about a year ago, I started toying with the idea that I wanted my family to be able to live with me or near to me. I kept on thinking, like, what will I do when my parents are too old to be okay, you know? So I thought, well, maybe I'll get a mini house. My goal has been to buy my house by the end of this year for a long time. But, you know, I don't know, you know, so that has always been the goal.
Just itch my
but I haven't
here.
been really able to accomplish it yet. And I haven't given up. But my main overall goal, my main design plans for my house have evolved even further than the tree houses and the house. So the house is supposed to have my own, you know, everything that I want to have in it. A 3-car garage. One of the garages has room for my vehicle. The other garage door has our at-home gym equipment. And then the other one has room for another vehicle or whatever, the kids' bikes or whatever, you know, they have or need or what have you. So, yeah, that's what I came up with.
In your dream home, you don't have a dedicated room for a gym, but the gym in the garage.
Because if I'm going to find a piece of property to build this house on, I need to consult with some true professionals. I need to know, number one, how do we find these houses that have trees that are large enough? I don't want it to be like an ugly prison tower, you know? I don't want that. I want a really great, you know, really earthy vibe, but still classy and modern and fun. I want it to be very elegant. I like the contrast of black to white. I like stone. I like all of those things. Granite. I like all of those things. But I still want to keep the tree and the earth, you know, and the greenery and the kind of, you know, not ruggedness, but like the earth as a part of it, you know, like all of the things that I'm drawn to. Mind you, I am the earth element.
This is right now. Hold on.
Capricorn. So
I messed up the stream. I'm
this
like
really weird,
vertical and horizontal right now.
like love for
vertical. It's all messed up.
Earth, kind of, not tones, because I really like gem tones better than earth tones, but like earth materials, like when I was a little girl, I used to always want wood floors instead of tile floors. And when I was growing up, I used to always love the smell of wood, like when I would go to Home Depot or like Menards with my mom or dad or grandma or whoever. And like the smell of fresh cut grass and like all of that. Well, rocks and stone and boulders and all of that, those are all, equally as earthy as soil and grass and trees. Those things are naturally occurring in the earth, in the earth. So anyways, I think that my plan for my house is really, really great.
And foolproof.
And I think that it is really similar to who I am as a person overall with regards to a fashion aesthetic and vibe. So with that being said,
That's $5,000 to drive people around.
Oh, I started calling these general contracting companies.
$5,000 a week.
And basically in doing so, my goal was, okay, I've already got my house designed, right? You go in and you have your entryway with a double staircase. And I didn't really want it to be like a mansion, but I wanted it to be a luxurious size so that my children and all their friends could, have their own space there and
Charlie
be happy.
dead, apparently.
So I wanted up the stairs. I wanted there to be to the right or to the left, either way, my bedroom and bathroom with my husband. And like the bathroom has like a big, deep bathtub for soaking with a view of the window, a view out the window, and then like a stand-up heated shower. A steam shower with rainfall. And then to the other side, whether it's the right or the left, would be my children's rooms. So all of our bedrooms are on the same floor, just on different wings. And then on the first floor, it's basically just the foyer, entrance to the garage, the kitchen, which is huge. The kitchen is huge. It has a huge island, granite countertops. It has a big double sink. It has all of the, cook things that you would want. And then the kitchen table is kind of like, not like a picnic bench, but it's like a very modern, clean bench on one side with chairs on the other side. And it's like a long table. And then we have a formal dining room also. And then the living room on the left side across from the dining room. And then when you go into the basement, it's just like a total kid zone, except for the one room that is on kind of like the split level when you're going down from my bedroom to like the dining room, kitchen, living room area. There's kind of like this back room that's my office. And that's it, right? So I would have room for my children. They would be able to accommodate a sleepover or what have you. And it would be great, so that's my thought. Well, about 3 months ago, I started deciding, okay, if I'm going to start, because they say it doesn't matter if you have the money in the bank right now or what you're doing right now or what's going on, just start the process of doing whatever it is that you want to do. And as you find out that you have to do something, come up with this or come up with that, then address it as it comes up, right? So I start calling these subcontracting companies. I'm also pitching AI, implementation, new business development, and website development to these companies. So I get on the phone with this guy and I start describing what I'm like looking for, but I need to add in that when I buy my property, I just had another revelation.
I need to do this though.
Rather than building a second house in the same area, in an effort to give the backyard the accessibility of being a chill spot with a fire pit and a like sitting area. I don't even need to do a pool. In trade-off for pool, because that's like extra maintenance and all of that, how about I have these basement remodelers come in? Have you guys seen the Teletubbies? How they live, how there's like a hill with a door and like they go in there. And so how about if on the same plot of land where I have my house, rather than making it a double plot, I build an underground kind of like living space. Have you guys seen those where they take what are those things called what are those things called on the backs of the trucks? Trailers? No, storage. I don't know. Those like big boxes that they make, you know, like train cars. They go on train cars or they go on semi trucks. Those like big long like rectangle boxes.
Yeah.
There's this social media posting that went viral that like kind of like made me start thinking about this. They remove the ends off of the containers and they put 4 in a rectangle and they do like a below ground Zen garden in the center. And then they carve out room for like windows. I could have literally 4 of those storage containers with the indoor Zen garden and access to come up for my family, you know, and I don't have to worry about building a second house. So I'm trying to like communicate this to the guy that this is what I want. What's the price tag on this? So that I could start trying to fundraise or, you know, so that I could start fundraising or earning or, you know, selling this idea for myself and my loved ones and start making progress, you know, like this has been, if you go back to 2015, when I was on the phone making these, like receiving these promises for my life when he came home, this is not something I made up overnight. We're in 2026, you know,
well, some of this has been made up
carving
overnight,
a path to get here for a long time. You know, it's been over a decade. And I have not given up. You can't give up on your dreams. If you give up on your dreams, you'll definitely never get there, you know? So anyway, that is like what I'm supposed to be doing. And then it's like just so many problems are solved because number one, the tree houses are total like glamping style. They have the accessibility that you need to basically do almost anything. Wash your hands, you know, they have running water, they're indoor, they have lighting, etc. The house is there, like for my children and I, we live there. It's great. Everything's fine. The underground area is the perfect escape for any of my friends or family members or anyone who you know,
for the 10.
If I want to go down there, whatever. So I have enough space on that one plot of land to accommodate all of my people. May not be AI. And we don't have to worry about hotels and we don't have to worry about, you know, these things. So anyways, I get on the phone with these guys and I've been creating a spreadsheet. I asked ChatGPT to create me the most lucrative, I think I said 10 to 30 businesses in the Chicago area incorporating or for the topics of contracting, general contracting and construction, entertainment and med spas. And
that's what we need.
I've been calling them, pitching. I put all of these companies in a database in an Excel sheet, and I've been, you know, pitching to them AI implementation, or asking, do they have it? What EMR or what electronic health, if it's med spa health system, if it's contracting, what electronic database are you guys using to store, you know, what CRM are you working with or what have you, trying to just gather more information, get a better field for the demographic from day to day and for the technological advancements that are being permitted, et cetera, and so forth. And they wouldn't give me any info. He wouldn't even allow me to get through explaining what was going on, and he just hung up. It was like so annoying. So I don't really have an accurate, you know, understanding of where I should even begin looking for this land. You know, I think it's definitely going to be important to look for the land, because if there are some rules like, oh, it can't be too close to a river, or, you know, for building underground, I don't know what the rules are for building underground. You know what I mean?
This isn't a project.
How can I even begin to even look for something if I don't even know what the rules are? So anyway, yeah. And so that's what I've been doing. I walked around, you know, several different establishments today, inquiring as to whether or not they were hiring. And, they've all referred to scanning a QR, which is great, other than I have been submitting electronic applications since 2020, and not a single one has brought any sort of success. So it's just been a real pain in the ass with regards to that, because that the only job I've been able to do since 2020 without being stalked, harassed, or chased into my place of employment has been, application-based, delivery-based, or person transportation-based, or what have you. Despite my overwhelming amount of experience and fabulous, stellar, phenomenal resume. So I am a little frustrated. I did get word that they have, in fact, paid off my entire car in exchange for the Cadillac, which pissed me off. They didn't give me much of a choice. They said that they let some other girl drive the Cadillac because they're trying to recreate or write music for the time period when I was living in my car, in 2020, right after Dylan came home, and they did everything that they did to me.
Happening?
Basically, all of those nefarious people who have been cooking audio and video, they have been trying to confuse the record, and supposedly they brought my Cadillac back to Chicago. It was at the Wrigley Field police station in Chicago. I called them. I asked them to speak with someone regarding my car, how it got there. I was working with the attorney Dylan Hansen, to recover my vehicle. I paid it off in full. No one paid a payment for me. Charlie Keene didn't pay a single payment for me. I paid myself. I gave Charlie Keene the cash and used his debit card because they were doing fraud out of my bank account. No one paid my car off for me. I paid my car myself. And they just took it, and started using it. Well, then they bring it back, and that car, for whatever reason, it's just, I don't know why they would park it right there the same day that Xavier and I got there. And then refuse to return my phone calls. So that was just incredibly, upsetting that they did that. And I'm not quite sure where to go, from here with recovering the vehicle. But then they said, oh, don't worry. They didn't want to take the Nissan. They said that the Cadillac was a better car anyways. Why would they have given someone else a choice which one of my vehicles they wanted to keep or use? This shit makes no sense at all whatsoever. And I don't know. I'm hoping that we can just somehow find a way to either realign, or to get these people who are not aligned on the same page, or to classify them as being misaligned so that they can go away, for real. Because it's too much dealing with them. They're really bad. They're really, really bad people. So anyways, that's what's been going on. Xavier, I'm not quite sure where he is. He refuses to get in the car, not in an angry way. It's just he wants to, but he can't. I don't know why.
No, he doesn't want to.
I can't even park in Chicago right now because of the fact that I already paid all of the tickets that they said that I owed, but they continued to say that I owe more and assess, future payment plans and all this stuff. And then the higher authority came down and said, we're not doing that anymore. Remove this. You're not, extorting Heather for money anymore. Those days are long gone. It's, go, fuck off basically. And, and they've been here for it. So I'm really not quite sure what's going on any day to day. But I guess I'm all right, so for the most part. So,
Travis, thank you for the time.
and that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. But, if you guys, I've not limited myself with regards to employment. I feel as though, I deserve to have access to my own money when I need it, when I want it. When I go into Sephora, when I go into Ulta, I look at things. There's really nothing that I could carry around with me, because I can't, the only thing I like there is perfume and a few hair products, but I already have the small versions of those. I have my Laneige.
The stolen versions.
I have my foundation. I have my palette for my eyeshadow. So I try to look and think, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? And when I go to these places, and there's really nothing, it's just the vibe and, doing the quality assurance checks that I enjoy. Until I get my house, I can't really accumulate. and so that's where we're at with it. But anyways, I'm gonna run in and use the
no one's asking you
restroom.
to?
I appreciate everyone who has been helpful thus far, and if someone could please try to check in on Xavier. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. It's very confusing for me. I definitely cannot go through these circumstances again. It's been just very scary from day to day with regards to where I'm at. I just can't believe that I am just in this situation. It's just like a nightmare. But I don't know. Hopefully, I will find a path sooner than later. And until then, I will continue to,
persevere.
Just stay as focused as I can. But they identified someone as a super target. The individual looks like Roland from Schitt's Creek. I think I know him, but he wasn't mean to me. So I don't know why they would make him their super target unless he's doing something that I'm not quite sure about, which could be possible. Anyways, all right, you guys, have a great day.
Well, that was something. A super target. What is a super target? I'm gonna put this back down over here. Yeah, I messed up. I thought I was in vertical mode, but I'm not in vertical mode. I'm in horizontal mode and vertical mode at the same time, apparently. It's both. So I don't know, man. I don't think we got most of it from the beginning, but let me just what am I doing here? Come here. Did she keep this up? Yeah, she did. Let me grab a copy real quick here, and then we'll see what the beginning was. She's not back, is she? No. That's just the real. I pressed the wrong button twice. Well, hold on, hold me now, you guys. This is better with the other video player. Save. What was this? Okay, I think like we. Why aren't you popping? There we go. I don't know where we came in at. Right before, when she says, I want $5,000 a week. That's, I think, right before I went live.
Right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I am just giving an update here for the record. I have now attempted to apply at, oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys something terrifying. Not terrifying, tragic. I went over to Barrington yesterday to check on and to check in with my friend who helped me the first round of all of this in 2021 or 2, I believe, right after everything happened with you know who. And he is dead.
How long was the live? Let's find it. It was 29 minutes on the dot.
Son came out, Patrick, and he told me, not the Patrick who did that terrible thing to me while Xavier and while I was pregnant. Not that Patrick near the Six Corners. Not that Patrick, a different Patrick. And he told me that Charlie Keene has passed away.
Bum, bum, bum. Rest in peace, Charlie Keene, who I thought was Charlie Sheen for the longest time. I don't know. Charlie Keene was some guy that was a sugar daddy to her or some shit.
In peace to Charlie Keene. I think it's a shame that you had to die. And Donald Trump, if you ever decide to pay Charlie Keene for the signs that you supposedly owe him money for, he said that it will come to me.
Yeah, okay. We're trying to get dead Charlie Keene's money from Donald Trump. For what signs? For signs.
President, not to anyone else. So that money, if I were able to work as a debt collector, would be legally mine to keep, Mr. Donald Trump president, sir. And it's me, Heather Gillepsie, but I didn't say that you owe that money. Charlie Keene did, and he passed away. So anyhow, I walked around the mall and I applied to many, many jobs. I told you all that I dropped in a line to Chicago Executive Airport and created a deal system with them that basically said, hey, if you get some private clients, you can go ahead and let me know. I will be their personal assistant / driver.
Imagine hearing this at the airport. If you get private clients, whatever the fuck that means, then you just go ahead and let them know that I'll drive them around for $5,000 a week. I would say, huh? I'd probably just say, yeah, sure, to get them out of here, because I gotta board people on the plane and stuff. But I'd be like, what the fuck is they talking about?
For however long they need. I can literally park at their doorstep and wait for them to call me to take them where they need to go. I can handle their business filings. I can handle their, I can handle their errands. I can, ERRANDS. I can handle.
What do you think you said?
Their entertainment. I can handle their business planning. I can handle their all sorts of things. And so I will charge $5,000 per week for 7 days of unlimited driving service, and etc. And so I told Chicago Executive, I will give you 20% off the top for every referral that you give me as a first-time client. And so,
no one's jumping at this. I can't imagine why.
We'll see what happens. So far, I have not been able to kind of nail anything down. And I do need to maintenance my nails.
No, I think we were going to say vehicle. Your nails, huh? So this is where we came in at, I'm pretty sure, right before. Like, I think it was mid-sentence of that one, where she's like, I'll charge $5,000 a week, and yada, 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 yada. I don't know, live mid-sentence. So that's the Heather Gillepsie live that she did today. James is, I guess, still at the hotel or something. I don't know what the fuck James is doing. But it's 5:50? Oh my god, it's 5:50. I don't know what else. We're going to do a B-sides tonight, but I don't know what else we're doing today. We'll try to do something. We probably won't. So, I don't know. She goes live again. I'll be back before B-sides. I don't think she will, though. I don't know. She didn't go live yesterday. I was hoping she would. I was hoping she would be in Florida, because she posted this. She was posting old pictures of herself in Florida from 2020 yesterday, like in her stories, and I was like, oh man. And she mentioned it again. She mentioned Florida, not the live that we just watched, but the live before that. I guess the day before yesterday, she was talking about Florida. I want to see her in Florida with James. Maybe that's evil, but I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me. Toodles for now.